My memo tonight starts at Ilbisil Primary School in Kajiado County. For many children, this school lunch is the only meal they will have today. This school and others across the country have recorded an increase in the number of students who come to the school daily because of the much-needed meal being offered. As the drought and hunger continue to bite, desperate parents are now joining their children in the queue for school lunch, as they too are left with no other option to deal with the biting hunger. The school administration says these parents have been queuing behind their children since schools opened in January. Some of these parents say they had stayed for days without food and had no option but to rush to school to partake in the much-needed meal, the only one they will have in a day. The school says most of these parents have been unable to pay fees as their livestock perished a long time back. Now, in Wajir, residents spoke of how they are forced to boil trees to quench their thirst and hunger. Sometimes even that water is not available. They are left languishing in the biting, relentless, scorching sun. Now, this situation is replicated in many parts of this country, with over 5 million people in dire need. This state of affairs may worsen, as reports indicate that below normal rainfall is expected during the rainy season over the next 3 months. These projections spelling doom for farmers who are ready to start planting but unable to do so. The suffering of millions of Kenyans is shameful to us as a country. Our leaders should not be comfortably and normally living their lives, sleeping soundly at night, having all their meals on time, moving around in big vehicles, traveling when and where they want to, and wrangling over who will lead what in Parliament, while the people who elected them languish and die. It should bother us when we see such pictures of despair and hopelessness in the eyes of fellow citizens of this country. This is a cycle that repeats itself ever so often and should not come as a surprise. Though the current situation is worst that the country has seen in a long time. 5 seasons and counting with little or no rainfall is making things unbearable for many. The relief food that most of the people depend on is never enough and does not reach everyone who desperately needs it. Some counties have even declared drought as an emergency, as the state of affairs becomes overwhelming for many to handle. Authorities need to take quick and urgent action. Projections already show that things are not getting better anytime soon. As a country, we would rather shelve development projects, reduce meetings and symposiums, as well as fact-finding missions abroad, and use that money to feed our people. A basic meal is a right. And the fact that over 5 million people are unable to get this basic need is sad and shameful to all of us. People have been stripped of their dignity as they find themselves in circumstances beyond their control. Time is of essence here, and every day that passes is a day lost. The authorities must contend with the reality that this is a race against time itself, and lives are at stake. That is my memo.